Hello folks, Tim here again with some more Raid Shadow Legends. Quick account update. I'm level 33, halfway to level 34. I've been spending a lot of time working on my missions and challenges. I've also been working on 3-starring hard, using Kale and Tyrell. Been using my full team to progress through Brutal. And I have kind of taken a U-turn with my champions. So my focus is getting Kale to 6 stars and fully ascended. I have very limited champions right now. I used almost everything to pump up all these other people so that I could end up with 5-star characters. Technically right now I have 3 because I'm keeping Tyrell, I'm keeping this guy, and now I want to keep War Maiden. So I have these 2 available right now. Kalia and Chanaru. So now I need 3 more. Okay. But I have been, working on Kale a little bit. I have been working on Tyrell. I have even been working on War Maiden. She's a lot better than I thought she was going to be. You know, so she has kind of replaced Steel Skull. So let's talk about Kale for a second. Kale's speed is 152. We want Tyrell to go first, so I need to figure out a way to get 1 more point of speed in him. Although, I just ran a couple dragon dungeons and it seemed like Tyrell was going first. I dig it, but I still want to get 1 point of speed on something. And I mean, he's got this glove here. And the only reason he has that is because I don't have a better lifesteal glove. And I don't want to, swap out speed boots or anything like that. So, we're just going to keep going with that until I can keep running Dragon and get a new pair of gloves. So as of right now, with them both at 152 speed, it does look like Tyrell's going first, but we're going to put 1 more point into his speed just to make sure. Like I said, War Maiden has replaced Steel Skull on my team. And I am thinking of using Steel Skull as food. He's 4 stars, level 40. I get a couple more 4 stars. I make him a 5-star. That gives me 3. I opened, so there's an event going on where you're getting summon any legendary champion and get a different extra one as a bonus. So I had 4 ancient shards and I opened them. What I got out of them was Castigator, who I'm not sure if he's good. He kind of seems like it a little bit, right? Attacks 1 enemy, has a 25% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. When you book him up, his damage goes up by 10%, and he will have a 40% chance of placing a provoke debuff on his A1. His A2 heals the ally with the lowest hit points by 20% of this champion's max HP, then equalizes the HP levels of all allies and grants this champion an extra turn. So when you book him, that goes from 6 turns to 4 turns, and he gets an extra 10% healing, so it'll be 30%. And then his passive, which unlocks at Ascension level 3, receives a 15% less damage from enemies under provoke debuffs. I think that's good. It sounds good to me, but I'm probably going to be like, oh, I'm going to keep him and I'm going to work on him, and then I'll just use him as food because my priority is Kale, followed by Tyrell, followed by War Maiden, followed by Rector Drath. That's my progression team. The other character I pulled was a beast wrestler. He's my first dwarf. He's gonna be food. I also pulled Galcut. Gonna be food. And then I pulled another Rector Drath. I'm gonna use him as a book for my first leveled up Rector Drath. Her. Sorry, I keep saying him. So my new team for progression through the game is Kale, Tyrell, War Maiden, and Rector. My first legendary unlock from the 7-day promo code, Ultimate Death Knight. This thing's fun. Like, it's an interesting character, and I have been having fun with it in Arena. It just seems like a troll, right? Like, he's just there to be an irritation to other people. Irritates the shit out of me when I gotta go up against it. I've been doing fairly well against it, but it's still irritating. Um, I'm not going to use him as food. However, I wonder whether or not he's a good character for me to work on. I've been leveling him up. But at this point of my account, is he a good character for me to be putting resources in? Obviously, my main progression team should come in, they should come in first. But putting him in a dungeon, a raid, like Dragon's Lair, a dungeon, he brings some benefit to it. So I stuck him in lifesteal gear, and I have been putting as much resistance into it as I can. So I put two resistance gems in it, so that's 17 resistance there. He starts with 6 here. There's 18 on the shield. There's none on the gauntlets, obviously. Resistance 30. I just was like, resistance 30, I'm using this chest piece, even though I don't have anything. But I don't have any other, decent combinations of things that only take 2 pieces. And then I got him in speed boots with defense. And that's just, that's the gear I have, right? I don't have toxic. Well, I mean, I do have toxic gear, but I don't have good, useful toxic gear. It's in here somewhere. But that's what everybody's putting on him is toxic gear. Everybody in the videos that I have been watching. And a lot of that has to do with his ability to solo dungeons. But I don't need a character right now at this point in my account for a character that can solo dungeons over, the characters that are going to progress me further. If you have an opinion on that, if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, go ahead, drop that in the comments section. I'll read it. I'll reply to it. I always check my comments like 5-6 times a day. I check and see if there's new comments. So I always read them. Before I answer them, I always think about that person's point of view. And, you just don't need to correct me or offer advice. If you would just want to tell me how your day is going, that's fine. Throw that in the comments too. But that's my recap. I got my first legendary. I opened some shards, and my account is progressing. Not as fast as I would have liked because I was kind of puttering around with other champions, like Shield Guard, right? Shield Guard is a common champion. He's a really good champion. And I got carried away with kind of building him up just because I kept getting him as drops. And I was like, I really, really need to get Kale to 6 stars, level 60, fully ascended. I'm sitting on 514 gems. I need 300 more, and then I am going to just buy his masteries. I have been having to do Minotaur for some of the missions and the challenges and stuff. So, nope, not the one you wanted, dummy. Um, so he does have a little bit of masteries going on. Pretty standard Kale build. Let me try that again. Pretty standard Kale build is what I'm going with. Um, and I'm hoping, once I get him maxed out, I should be at Nightmare, and then, I should be able to pop Nightmare out pretty quick. My hard mode, getting 3 stars on everything, is going along pretty good. Right now, I'm stuck, here in Valdemir Strait. I tried this one earlier and got my ass handed to me. So I'm going to put, get a couple more levels and go at it again. Kale and Tyrell in lifesteal gear, really great combination for getting things 3 stars so far. I'm also progressing pretty good into Brutal. I'm about to start Felwyn's Gate when I have more energy. Silver, man. I had a shit ton of silver, and now I keep running out of it because I'm doing a lot of the artifact challenges. I'm on 6 of 10. I've got these 2 left to go. But switching artifacts and leveling artifacts, and then, oh, shoot, I was going to use this guy, to tear somebody else up, and it was just kind of, yeah, I went through all my silver, and every time I turn around, I have to get more silver. Getting gear to 16 when you're a new account, like when you're within your first 7 days, sucks. Don't ever do it again. If I ever start another account, or if I can impart any like wisdom on a brand new player, is do not try to get all your gear on one character to gear 16 unless you have a shit ton of money, because you're going to go through it disgustingly fast. Like, look at the helmet, right? So to upgrade it, to get it to another level, to get it to 16, so I can max it out, 20,660 silver. And how many times going from 15 to 16 are you going to fail? I failed going from 10 to 12 sucked. I had, a lot more money then, and I did that a lot earlier. But then 12 to 16 sucks even worse. I went through a couple million and still didn't get this piece to 15. RNG hates me. RNG's like, hey, Tim, you want to get that thing to 16? I don't think so, sir. Have a good day. So in early days, just go for 12, right? You need 8 when you get a piece. I think this is just my opinion. Like, you need 8 to see what you get. Your gosh, I'm drawing a blank on what I want to say. To get speed to 2, right? Wow, I'm feeling a little dumb right now. Right, my accuracy. Right, 2 upgrades to my accuracy. So you need 8 to see what you're getting. Depending on the gear. Because most of the gear you're getting at my point, like all my lifesteal gear for Kale, came from the Death Knight event, right? The login rewards for the Ultimate Death Knight. I don't have very good gear on really anybody else. I'm missing a couple pieces on War Maiden. So gear's been tough. It's been a little frustrating. And I'm thinking maybe I'm expecting way too much out of my first 7 days. I'm watching other people's videos and they're like 3 days in and they already have a, you know, 6-star, fully ascended, fully masteried Kale. And I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? They've got, they're 10 days in and they've got like 8 legendaries. And I'm just like, my mind is blown. I mean, I go in and I look at, I go in here and I look and I say, the fusions. I'm like, I, I don't know how people get that character. Any of them, right? Like, so this is one. All of these, I'm pretty sure, are farmable. Most of them. I mean, you got Valerie. Maybe not farmable, but I can't fathom ever getting this, at least at this point. Fragment summon. I have a couple people that have used my friend codes, so I'm at 70 fragments for this character. That's pretty exciting. And if I get another one, my son's using one, a friend of mine's using one, and one of my channel subscribers is using one. So when the third one gets to level 10, I'll unlock that legendary. But while I work on my main progression team, I'm not going to put any resources into that legendary unless I just take it along as a fifth wheel in a dungeon or something like that. So I guess what I'm looking for is opinions, right? Is my line of thinking correct? Am I way off? Let me know in the comment section. All right, folks, that's going to be it for this video. We will pick this up in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Have a great night.